Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Another eviction is going to be served today, and it's got to be served by the one and only the landlord. And if you know the IBFP, if you know what we do here, we've always been generous to Mikey Garcia, giving him the benefit of the doubt. But today, he will be evicted. And when the landlord has to get evicted, when he has to serve an eviction, there's always a good reason, and it's backed by facts, and that's all we can do. So nobody's exempt from getting evicted. And you know what? It's the landlord. The rent is due, and let's get it. And you know what? The guy whose rent has been late, it hasn't been on time, is Mikey Garcia. And I have no problem with Mikey Garcia. I like Mikey Garcia, but we got to tell the truth about Mikey Garcia's the same way that we tell the truth about everybody else. So when we break it down, we got to be honest and objective. Mikey Garcia, he said that his brother and his father say he shouldn't be fighting at 147. They feel he's too small. He should be fighting at 140 pounds. Mikey Garcia turns around and says, he can't get a title shot at 140. And he said it's almost impossible simply because they can't do business. And most likely it's because they can't do business with Top Rank, because the champions at 140 are Top Rank fighters. You got Josh Taylor and you got Jose Ramirez, and he's not fighting Jose Ramirez. So for him to get a shot at a guy like Josh Taylor, he's not going to do it simply because the rent, because he doesn't, the negotiation won't work out with Bob Arum. Here's the problem I have with that, and this is why Mikey Garcia is getting evicted. Mikey Garcia is chasing paydays at 147. Mikey Garcia is just looking for big cash out fights. He's already got dominated by Errol Spence Jr., and this is how I know, because he put his foot in his mouth like an idiot. So you call out Terrence Crawford, who's on Top Rank Boxing, who you basically says, hey, I'll fight Terrence Crawford. I'll get in the ring with Terrence Crawford. If he's up for the fight, I'll do the fight. So how can you get a fight with Terrence Crawford at 147 and you call for that, but then you turn around and say you can't get a fight with a guy like Josh Taylor at 140? I'm sure Josh Taylor's free smoke. I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem fighting anybody. Let's be honest and unbiased. So that means you're picking and choosing who you can do business with on the same promoter, because that's the same excuse you gave with Vasil Lomachenko. I was saying the business was too difficult, but you're going to call out Terrence Crawford. So you're either clout chasing or you're looking for paydays, because you really don't want to fight anybody on the Top Rank stable. Because if you did, then this wouldn't have been an issue, because you're calling for Terrence Crawford, but you're saying the business won't work out. So that means no matter what happens, you're not really interested in fighting Terrence Crawford. Mikey Garcia belongs at 140 pounds. That's pretty much it. He belongs at 140 pounds. At 147, he's not going to be able to win a world title against an Errol Spence, against a Terrence Bud Crawford. Both of those guys slaughters Mikey Garcia. Let's just be honest and unbiased. He's holding out for big and massive paydays. It makes you wonder, why didn't the Danny Garcia fight turn up? Simply because he was getting $7 million to fight a Jesse Vargas. A Jesse Vargas with whom he struggled with at points in that fight. Mikey Garcia is no welterweight. He shouldn't be in the welterweight division. This division is too big for him. He didn't get enough of an offer or a big enough payday to take the Danny Garcia fight, a fight that I feel like he probably would have lost. Because if you struggle with Jesse Vargas, who no one regards as a top 5 welterweight, who's supposed to be at 154 and who's not even looking good there. At the end of the day, Mikey Garcia, he's chasing the biggest payday, not the biggest names. Let's just be honest and unbiased. He's looking for the biggest payday, not the biggest name. And I understand what he's saying about the Manny Pacquiao. Everybody wants Manny Pacquiao, and he's a likely candidate for that fight. But at the end of the day, just like my brother JB said, he's holding up the 147-pound division, stepping in the way of everything that's going on. At the end of the day, Mikey Garcia should be at 140. He should be fighting guys at 140. Think about it. Mikey Garcia is talking about that he'd be happy to face, Maurice Hooker and Regis Prograis, and both of those guys are fighting at a 143 catch weight in their next fight. So if we got to be honest and unbiased, what weight are you going to fight them at? What weight are you going to fight them at? Look, I understand that you want to be a 5-division world champion. I understand that. You had that opportunity, and you blew it against Errol Spence. You think you're going to get it against Terrence Bud Crawford? He's looking at the upside. And look at it. You could be a dominant pound-for-pound fighter at 140 pounds. But instead of being where you're best at, you're going to go to a weight where you're not best at, where you were losing rounds against a guy like Jesse Vargas. Mikey versus Regis Prograis is a hell of a fight. Mikey versus Maurice Hooker is a great fight. So stylistically, Mikey Garcia can make a lot of boxing matches at 140 against good fighters. I mean, at the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez is moving up to 140 pounds. Do you think that Teofimo and Mikey could get it on? But Mikey probably wouldn't even look in the direction because he says he can't do business with Top Rank, but yet calls out Terrence Crawford. Why are you calling out Terrence Crawford if you can't do business with Top Rank? That is why Mikey Garcia is getting evicted. Because if he doesn't want to do business with Top Rank, then why are you calling out Terrence Crawford? That makes no sense. You just put your foot in your mouth. If he really wanted to smoke, he would have fought Terrence Crawford a long time ago. Let's just be honest and unbiased. Now, Andrew Espinosa says he's calling out 147-pound champs. He may not beat them, but he wants them. You can't blame him for it. That's clout chasing. That is clout chasing, Andrew Espinosa, because what has Mikey Garcia done to deserve a fight? Yordenis Ugas arguably was robbed against the Sean Porter fight when they fought. Yordenis Ugas should be the mandatory for Errol Spence right now, and they're bypassing him. For Danny Garcia, Yordenis Ugas fought a title eliminator for that spot. Yordenis Ugas and Terrence Crawford would make a great fight. What put Mikey Garcia a better position to get those fights than Yordenis Ugas? What puts him in a better position to get those fights than a Virgil Ortiz? What puts him in a better position? It does nothing. His performance when he was dominated against Errol Spence and he scraped by a guy like Jesse Vargas. So at the end of the day, I would rather see Ugas get a title shot next. I would rather see, a guy like Virgil Ortiz get a title shot. Even a Sergey Lipinets. These guys are paying their dues trying to get the fights, fighting better opposition than Mikey Garcia. Let's just be honest and unbiased. Mikey Garcia needs to do what's best for his career. Why is he calling out Terrence Crawford? Why is he calling out Terrence Crawford? That's what I don't understand. Why is Mikey calling out Terrence Crawford, but you can't do business with Top Rank? That makes no sense to me. So if you can't go to 140 because you can't do business with any of the top ranked fighters, then why are you saying Terrence Crawford would be a good fight? Terrence Crawford would be the fight. I'd take that fight if they would give it to me. What are you talking about? So if you can make fights with Top Rank, why not take that fight? You got to be honest and unbiased. You got to be honest and unbiased. You got to be real. Errol Spence dominates you, showed that you were outclassed in the division. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Mikey Garcia is chasing money. He's not chasing the best. He's not chasing what could make him the best. See, if you had, did he duck Vasyl Lomachenko? It's starting to look like it because you said the fight would happen. You move up in weight, dare to be great, get smacked down, and you have an opportunity to turn around and get that work. And you're still staying at a weight where you were already dominated, where you struggled against Jesse Vargas. Anybody that can see that it's clear as day that Mikey Garcia is simply clout chasing a payday is not being honest. And I'm going to tell you what, at the end of the day, Yordenis Ugas has earned it. Yordenis Ugas has earned a shot at one of the top champions. Yordenis Ugas has earned his place at this point in the welterweight division. A champion, again, a title shot at any of these guys. Any of these guys. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. All of these guys know it. We got to be honest and unbiased about it. Look, Mikey Garcia had his opportunity, and you know what? He blew it. And you know what? I appreciate him for taking it. But at the end of the day, Mikey Garcia needs to go to 140 where he can be competitive, where he can fight a good fight, become a champion, and make boxing great at 140. That's where Mikey Garcia should be. He should be at 140 pounds. Mikey Garcia has no business in the division. That he has not proven he can compete there. Struggling against Jesse Vargas, getting blown out by Errol Spence does not prove that he should be at 147 pounds. His father doesn't believe it. His brother doesn't believe it. But everybody else think they can believe it. What do you think, Two Hands?
What's going on?
What's going on, my brother?
Not much, man. What we talking about?
We're talking about Mikey Garcia, and he's stating that his father and his brother say that he shouldn't be competing at 147. He should drop down to 140. But Mikey Garcia said that he can't get a title shot at 140 because these guys are on the top ranked side of the street. So if they're on the top ranked side of the street, why is he calling out Terrence Crawford saying that would have been a great fight? So is he clout chasing Terrence Crawford, or is he just picking and choosing paydays at 147 because they're going to be a lot more lucrative?
They full of shit, because you know how long they was trying to make that fucking Lomachenko fight? He full of shit. He had plenty of title opportunities down there. Oh shit, you talking about 140?
What, 140? Yeah.
Oh well. He would be better off at 140. I'm saying he still would have title opportunities. I don't see what would be stopping him. You know what I mean? But I mean 147. I mean he really ain't.
He's making excuses too, and I put it like this. If you want to be pound for pound, you want to be a great fighter, you want to be special, you should fight in a division where you belong. Instead of chasing guy, he was already outclassed by Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford stops Mikey Garcia. Anybody thinks that Terrence Crawford doesn't stop Mikey Garcia, you're not a real boxing fan. You're truly not watching the sport. Terrence Crawford stops Mikey Garcia.
Yeah, Terrence Crawford stops him quick. Like, I mean, really, there's not much Mikey can do at 147. I mean, like, really, what can he do up there? I mean, he can hope to get the Manny Pacquiao fight. Other than that, like, what type of noise he can make up there? He's not big, man. He's not big. You know, it ain't really a good fit for
him. He's not suited for 147. But that's pretty much it. And he's told Terrence Crawford, if Terrence is available, we'd like to get in the ring with him. Why you didn't say that shit to Josh Taylor? Because you're not serious. You're chasing a payday at 147 because that's basically a glamour division. These guys simply want the payday. If he was really competitive at 147, then it would make sense. Now you're chasing a fight. Well, we all know you're gonna lose anyway. We all know you're gonna lose against Terrence Crawford. Let's be real. Come on now. Anybody could want to be a five. Look, put it like this. Andrew Espinosa said, I agree on what you say, but 5 divisions, Errol saying he can't do it. He wants that smoke. At least he ain't dodging, man. Hold on. Did he dodge the Vasil Lomachenko 2 hands or did he not?
I mean, he definitely dodged that. He got the fuck up out of 135 for that reason, in my opinion. You know what I mean? he ain't look back at that motherfucking WBC belt.
See, this is what I'm saying. These guys, they're not being real. Look, at the end of the day, I like Mikey Garcia, but I got to tell the truth. He's chasing big paydays against these guys. He's not really trying to fight great fighters. He's not trying to be a great fighter himself. He's chasing the big paydays. And then, look, we got a few other people on this eviction notice today that we got to clear up, you know. And you know, I think that Anthony Joshua, and I just want to touch on this one more time. My brother D brought this to my attention. Anthony Joshua is becoming one of the most underrated fighters because if you look at it before the Fury fight, even Fury saying that even Fury fans were saying Fury's going to get knocked out by Deontay Wilder late in the fight. They said, oh, he would outbox him and get knocked out late. Anthony Joshua is being ignored. He's being looked past. Everyone says, oh, now he'll beat Wilder. But before they didn't think he would beat Wilder. They thought Wilder would kill him. Now they're saying Fury will kill him. Now everybody kills Anthony Joshua by simply being aggressive and coming forward. And they don't realize that Anthony Joshua has a lot of skills. 2 hands. You want to speak to that? Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, has to be one of the most underrated fighters right now.
Man.
He's the unified champion. These guys are kind of looking past him.
Underrated, yes. But beyond that, Anthony Joshua, quite frankly, has become the most disrespected heavyweight of all fucking time, in my opinion, man.
Thank you.
I've never seen one heavyweight get disrespected so bad, in my opinion, for the things that he has done. Normally, you would give a guy credit for the things he's accomplished. But my thing is this, bro. It all started as soon as the Wilder Fury 2 press conferences started. And both of those two dickhead fucking corporations started merging and working together for the Wilder Fury 2 fight. And they just started bashing that motherfucker nonstop. Now, we just completely going to act like this man isn't a unified champion over there and try to treat this guy like he don't exist. But I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, this motherfucker gets monster disrespected. I've never seen no shit like that in my life, man.
And 2 hands. Look at it like this. You remember they dissed Anthony Joshua before the Andy Ruiz rematch, and they said, oh, he couldn't make adjustments. Andy Ruiz had better footwork than Anthony Joshua is what they were saying. I literally argued with thousands of people about Anthony Joshua footwork being better than Andy Ruiz footwork. Who argues that Ruiz has better footwork than Anthony Joshua? That has to be the dumbest I've ever heard.
Hey, Nuke, we deal with this constant flip-flopping conspiracy, right? It all started when Anthony Joshua took the Andy Ruiz fight. Everybody shitted on him for it because nobody knew who the fat kid was, et cetera, et cetera. When he won that match, now he's the best fucking heavyweight since fucking Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua has no way of beating him, no way of adjusting. You know, before Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury is trash. He talked too much stuff. I done heard a bunch of dudes in UK in my comments say they hate that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They hate that motherfucker. Like nobody liked that dude. Now all of a sudden he got the win over Deontay Wilder. Niggas treating him like he can't be beat. My thing is this, man. You can't lose sight of, you know what I mean, what matters most, man, the skill, man. Like I don't know. I think a lot of these dudes get hypnotized real quick with some fanboy fairy dust, man.
Now look, and then there's one more we got to evict because Anthony Joshua's not getting the respect. Mikey Garcia is getting too much respect, and then we get to the last one. We get to Errol Spence Jr. And I hate to kind of go raw on this. I think Errol Spence Jr. is above average fighter. So I think he's a good fighter. I think he's an above average fighter. But I think when you look at pound for pound talents, you look at guys who are truly special. You look at Terrence Crawford, special skill set. You look at guys like Anui, special skill set. You look at guys like, Vasil Lomachenko, guys like Canelo Alvarez. These guys have special skill sets. These guys distinguish themselves. They're better than above average fighters. These guys are really good fighters, on the verge of great fighters, if not already great. When I look at a guy like Errol Spence and I seen him fighting Sean Porter, I didn't see great in that fight. I did not see a great fighter. So when people tell me that he has this elite level jab, his jab doesn't look elite. His jab looked more like a space and a range finder more than that, but it's not a thudding hard jab that's going to hurt somebody. It's not like a Triple G or a Sergey Kovalev jab. It's not one of those jabs. Errol Spence Jr., in my opinion, if I got to be real about it, based on his skill set alone, I understand that he's a unified champion. I respect that. But this guy, skill-wise, he's not a pound-for-pound type of talent. And when he fights a guy like Bud Crawford, that will be exposed. And, I got to be honest about it. I just don't see the skills from Errol Spence that people say. Because, in a higher weight class, he's going to get exposed when he doesn't have the size to compete, the size advantage over everybody else like he does in the welterweight division.
Yeah, he definitely taking advantage at 147 with his weight. But this the thing about Errol Spence though, man. It's like I don't know what people missing, man. Why they exalt this dude? Because like if you look at the Sean Porter fight, right? It's like it's like dudes is doing two things wrong, man. It's like okay, so are y'all going to overpraise Errol Spence for getting a win over Sean Porter when y'all know that motherfucker is probably a B minus, a B fighter at best?
Hold on, two hands. This is how bad they disrespected Sean Porter. This is how bad the odds are in Las Vegas. Mikey Garcia in Las Vegas had a better chance to beat Errol Spence than Sean Porter. They looked at Sean Porter as a guy who had no chance to beat Errol Spence. Everyone was calling it by a knockout. And now we turn around and look at it, and everybody's saying, oh, Sean Porter's a tough test. So what is it? Is he trash or is it a tough test? These guys can't make up their mind, two hands.
Right. Now, I mean, we can all say Sean Porter go in there, he's scrappy, he willing to fight. But, I mean, let's be honest, man. He was the worst out of all the champions, and really, he's a B fighter at best, man. So what does that say about Errol Spence? You know what I mean? Because Errol Spence get a whole lot of praise for getting that W that he really didn't get. So if that man would have got beat by Sean Porter, who I really feel is probably one of the worst champions at that time definitely the worst champion at 147 at that time, and really not that great. Sean Porter is not that great, man. He'll give you a good fight, but if you like that, you should not be getting beat by no Sean Porters, man.
That's true. And then look, let me ask you this. I got one more for you, two hands, because this is one I thought about. Sean Porter said he's still open for the Terrence Crawford smoke right now. He would still like to get in the ring with Terrence Crawford. Which one is a better fight to make right now? Kell Brook, Sean Porter versus Terrence Crawford.
Damn, man. For real, I would have to go with Sean Porter. And I mean, it ain't nothing on Kell Brook. because you already know if you fight Kell Brook and he wash him, you already know what they gonna say. Now, if we fight Sean Porter and he wash him, they really gonna say the same thing. So he kind of damned if he do, damned if he don't. They gonna wash him for Sean Porter and fucking Kell Brook. Cause like they gonna be like, oh, Sean Porter's just coming off a loss. I mean, at least Kell Brook coming off a win.
And that's us 100% facts. They're not going to give him any credit for a guy like, Kell Brook. But Sean Porter, he could send a legitimate statement to the welterweight division that's showing how great he is. If he goes in there and washes Sean Porter, he's going to show you another level above from Keith Thurman, from Danny Garcia, and from Errol Spence. That would be the test to take. That would be the fight to make. At this point, I would prefer Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter if that fight can be made over Kell Brook. I think Kell Brook, since he's not, weight drained at this point, but we don't know if he can still really make 147 right now. So I think that's going to be a tough fight, and he's not going to get credit for Kell Brook. I just think it makes more sense for Terrence Crawford to fight Sean Porter next if they can hammer out that deal. I don't see why, because Sean Porter's a real deal guy. He's more proven at this point than Kell Brook. I mean, what was Kell Brook's best win aside from Sean Porter? Like it looks that bad on his resume. You got to give it to Sean Porter. You got to give him that respect right there. I don't see it any other way.
Yeah, man. Sean Porter, the fresher of the two fighters, man. Still fairly young. I mean, it make a more exciting fight too.
I got to get your opinion on this. Jarrell Miller turns around and says, you know what? It was his drug test, him failing the drug test against Anthony Joshua was all about a misunderstanding. How in the fuck is it a misunderstanding when he shot the entire CVS pharmacy into his veins? How is that a misunderstanding?
That motherfucker shot Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, all them bitches at one, man. I mean, he literally had every steroid seeping through his veins. He's a fucking disgrace, man.
And nobody's looking at Big Baby Miller as nothing, nothing special, nothing great. I just think that Big Baby Miller, him and Oscar Rivas, that'll be a hell of a fight. They get that done. But I mean, come on. Big Baby Miller, this guy shot up the entire pharmacy in his neck, in his arm, in his veins. What's going on? Like, this guy is just, he's sitting up here talking trash. Mm-hmm. He's basically irrelevant. He needs to do something to prove that he's a top-tier heavyweight. You need to beat somebody. But then we don't even know he's going to come back. That high work rate he had, was that the juice? Was that great chin he had? Was that the juice? Like, what was the juice contributing to his game?
Oh, it was all the juice. You know what I'm saying? He was hanging out with Evander Holyfield on the weekend. Fat bastard when he work out. He's sweating whole steroid capsules and shit like that. Like, he done, man. Like,
and who has that kind of stamina? Eat nothing but cheeseburgers. That's bullshit. You eating that many cheeseburgers and you got unlimited stamina. It gotta be the juice. There ain't no.
I was wondering why he took so many fucking punches in the head and just kept coming forward, bro. Like, niggas was punching his whole head off, and he just walked right through them shits and just keep coming forward, man. I knew it was the dope, man. It couldn't have been nothing else but the dope.
And we need to get T-shirts printed up with Jarrell Miller's face. Say there's nothing else but the dope. But I'm gonna tell you what Teofimo said recently. It really struck me and made me think about you, Two Hands. Teofimo turns around and says that the Vasyl Lomachenko fight will not go 12 rounds. I think that's a 50-50 fight. I think it's a great fight. It's possible it could go 12 rounds. Vasyl Lomachenko could win it. Teofimo could win it. But I'm tired of people writing off Teofimo like Vasyl Lomachenko is unbeatable, like he has no flaws. I think Vasyl Lomachenko is a special pound-for-pound elite-level fighter, and he might fool Teofimo. But Teofimo brings a lot to the table, so let's not overlook him and act like he can't fucking beat or hurt Vasyl Lomachenko. Luke Campbell hurt Vasyl Lomachenko. Jorge Linares hurt Vasyl Lomachenko. Orlando Salido hurt Vasyl Lomachenko. So let's not act like Teofimo Lopez cannot hurt Vasyl Lomachenko. Am I crazy?
Definitely not, because I think, there's this certain obsession in the boxing world with Lomachenko where, a part of it where, I'm saying, understandably, it's fair. It shouldn't be an obsession, but then there's this whole other part of it where it completely overshadows any other realm of possibility that another fighter could come in the ring and possibly knock that man out. So for like Teofimo or his father, saying that they would knock that motherfucker out in 5 rounds. For them to say that, it's blasphemy. Like, how dare them say that? Like, are these motherfuckers fighters or not? So if he's supposed to fight this man, what is he supposed to say? I'm hoping I make it 12 rounds with this motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. He's talking how he's supposed to talk. He's talking like a fighter. So, and I mean, honestly, the kid do got the goods. Now, every fighter got holes in their game. I honestly believe, in my personal opinion, if it comes down to athleticism, build, speed, and possibly IQ, Teofimo is definitely definitely more talented. More talented. I'm talking intangible wise. He is more talented than anybody else that Lomachenko has ever faced. There is no doubt about that. As far as just physical attributes, he's definitely more talented. Now, will he go in there and beat him? He got to prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that I'm not going to write the kid off and just act like the kid going to lose, you know, because there is a chance that the kid can win. Shit. Like, he bigger than him. He faster.
Think about it. You got speed, you got power, and he's going to apply pressure. So if you do all three of those things, that can disrupt Vasyl Lomachenko's rhythm. I think that it's a pretty even fight between both guys because stylistically they both bring something different. I wouldn't be surprised if Vasyl Lomachenko beats Teofimo, but I wouldn't be surprised if Teofimo stopped Loma because we know his chin has been suspect at some points. But to act like these guys are invincible, like guys get so caught up on what they see or some last fight, they think they're invincible. Like even Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev is a hell of a fighter. He's undefeated, all knockouts. He just beat Alexander Vosdik, and he's a really good fighter, unified champion. But to act like a guy like Dimitri Bivol cannot beat him is nonsense. Bivol has the tight and elite level jab. Bivol has more boxing abilities than Beterbiev. It wouldn't surprise me if Bivol beats Beterbiev just on boxing, because if Beterbiev can't hit you and hurt you, he has nothing.
Yeah, and I've always said that I think if anybody was to beat Beterbiev, it would definitely be Bivol. But we gotta stop sitting here caping acting like shit can't be, like, motherfuckers can't be beat, man, because we live in a world where everybody can be beat. And then, you know what I mean? So don't be fucking surprised. You know what I mean? And I'm not even talking about Teofimo Lopez. I'm talking about any one of your favorite fucking fighters that you fanboy over, that you just think is invincible. That nigga got an Iron Man chin or whatever. He can get knocked off his pedestal. And don't be surprised if he get knocked off his pedestal.
And look, this is what I'm talking about. Anybody can get it. Anybody can be beat. There's nobody that's invincible or unstoppable, and these guys are hyping these dudes up. Two hands, the floor is yours. Is there anybody that you want to evict in this boxing world that you looked at and say, this shit got to get addressed? I got to speak on this. Anybody that you want to address?
Man, I don't know, man. I just feel like we live in the world of just the regular, usual fucking suspects, man. I just think that, I think this Tyson Fury shit getting out of control. It just seemed like we got all of these new fanboys for Tyson Fury. That shit just starting to get kind of weird because it wasn't really no love there before. And nobody really had love for that man like that before. Like, everybody and their mama wrote that man off, said he was going to get knocked out. Now, I said he was going to win the fight, but I don't have nothing to do with it. But just the fact that all of a sudden this man got one win and y'all shocked, y'all just act like y'all just his biggest fan. Y'all motherfuckers was not that man fan like that. Let's just call it down the middle and just speak facts. Wasn't nobody really rocking with Tyson Fury before he beat Deontay Wilder. And that's a fact. People used to dog him out, say they hate his personality, said he couldn't sell nothing out in America, everything else, no matter what he was doing, people was dogging it. From Otto Wallen to Tom Schwartz to you just run down the line. People was dogging that shit, man. That's a fact.
Now let me tell you this. Let me tell you this too, Ann, because this is really interesting for me. When you look at everything and when you put everything, you realize that after Anthony Joshua fought Andy Ruiz, everybody said that Andy Ruiz was the best. And then after Fury beat Wilder, they said Fury's the best. It seems like anything to discredit Anthony Joshua to somewhat low-key hate on AJ. That's what it kind of feels like. Because when Anthony Joshua was the king of the hill, everybody had all these excuses as why he was going to lose some fight, or why everybody would beat him, or why he was ducking Deontay Wilder. It seems like until there's something where you see that you see that Fury's elite, AJ's elite, that's a close fight. That's a 50-50 fight. But to act like these guys have no chance, it makes no sense. Fanboying is going to the next level when half of these people that say they're Fury fans was already saying that he was going to lose to Deontay Wilder in that last fight. These guys were shocked.
They don't even know why they picking Fury to win over Anthony Joshua for real. They just picking them. They don't even know what they saw when Fury beat Deontay Wilder, because honestly, you really didn't see I mean, there was a lot there, but a lot of, fanboys and shit, they ain't really see much. They wouldn't know why they picking Tyson Fury to beat Anthony Joshua. How would he beat him? You know what I mean? They don't know what they looking at for real. They just talking a whole bunch of shit. They just jumping on the next bandwagon that everybody claiming that, they was with Fury, that he was going to knock him out. Now, let's be serious. When that motherfucker said he was going to knock out Anthony Joshua, everybody was laughing. They was laughing. They was laughing. They didn't say nothing about he could pressure that man, put him on the fucking back foot. They didn't say he could, just smother him, knock him out. You know what I mean? Nobody thought that was going to happen. Who really thought that was going to happen? I called that shit. So where's all this? I know for a fact we all know what the energy was like. Nobody saw it going like that. So now all of a sudden, y'all thought Tyson Fury was a knockout artist. So now he just going to go knock Anthony Joshua out all of a sudden. Y'all just cutting out all realms of possibilities of things that could happen in the match. He just going straight in there, and he just going to knock Anthony Joshua over with all the ease in the world, because he just bulldozed Deontay Wilder. But nobody thought he could get it done.
And that's unbiased, that's honest, and that's truthful boxing talk. And, me and Two Hands, we're going to be back at it again. Once again, Two Hands, you want to sign them out?
Hey, man, as we always say, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Respect.
Salute. Respect. Everybody subscribe to Two Hands. Respect the Eviction. Know the show. Salute.
Salute.